induction or the introduction of a transit hub in the Camp Washington community. My name is Jeff Conklin.
I'm Adam Curlin.
I'm Josh Gilbert. I'm a civil engineer in transportation.
I'm Sean Stussel, civil engineer and environmental.
Sorry, I'm in construction. Our original project goal was to introduce a transportation hub in the heart of Camp Washington community. In addition to that, we're also going to include the entire transit system through the Camp Washington community. The original proposed light rail line is going to go to the east, and we decided to move it to the west, directly through the center of the community. We believe that this will help with it'll enhance all Florida Avenue during the entire length of it, and it will help for transit-oriented development throughout the entire community, which will help stimulate the local economy and not hurt any of the local businesses.
After we decided to bring the light rail into the Camp Washington community, the first thing we decided is to underneath along the length of Florida Avenue. The main reason we chose was because, first of all, it lines up perfectly with the underground abandoned subway tunnels that we planned to travel through prior to bringing it under 75, and also the location of it, runs right through the heart of Camp Washington, allowing for better access to it. Usually, tunneling over this distance would be extremely expensive. However, we propose to do open cut construction on this area because of the low volume of traffic that travels across Alteration Avenue. We found that we can break it up into phases and close down certain parts of it. Josh will talk about the phasing in a couple minutes. The exact location of the light rail is right up here on the Rachel Street and Alteration Avenue. There's a couple of abandoned lots in this location currently. There's about 25,000 square feet of room that would be available for the hub itself as well as surrounding development. This location would be a great place right in the middle of the Camp Washington area and would allow for the possibility of transit-oriented development around the area. The next issue we came across was how to bring it back over to the other side of 75 once we got to the top of our area over there. The two options we looked at were bridging it over the top or tunneling underneath. First, when looking at trying to bridge it over top of the interstate there, the first issue we saw was the elevation. Currently, we would have to come out of the ground from underneath around the Arlington Avenue area, just north of it. There's currently about a 10-foot elevation difference between that and I-75. Since we'd be underground, about 20 feet below the road at that point, and we come up 10 feet up to get to the elevation, and then another about 20 feet to clear 75. It would cause about 50 feet of elevation rise over about 330 feet of distance. It would cause about 15% slope for the light rail, which, with the maximum of about 8% of the typical light rails, would be a little extreme. The one way to try and fix this we looked at was possibly lowering 75 in that area. We're currently planning on doing construction of that area at 75, so we thought it could be possible to lower 75 in the area. However, after doing the calculations, it would have to lower about 25 feet there. This would also require 75 to be gradually lowered for about 500 feet in both directions to make it not so steep and slope in that area. So after considering all those, we decided that tunneling under 75 would probably be better alternative in that area also. Josh will talk about it.
One of our big concerns was we want to tie back into the existing subway tunnels, and the subway tunnels actually run up to Spring Street. But we're going to tie in about Draper Street right here, because we want to just try to be pretty uniform. We want to keep it pretty straight. So phase one of our construction is going to start at Central Park. That's where the subway tunnels are located. We're going to tunnel under I-75. Once we once we tunnel under I-75, we're going to do open cut construction up till Marshall Avenue. That'll be phase one. Phase two will be from Marshall to Popple, with the construction of our hub itself, which is located at Rachel and Alteration Avenue. And phase three, that would also be, there's also going to be tunneling underneath Popple Street too, because the traffic is way too large to do an open cut construction right there. And phase three will consist of just north of Popple all the way to 75, where we're going to tunnel again until we get across 75. bring it back up above ground. And Jeff will talk about some of the case studies he found.
Yes. One of the largest, or one of the most important case studies that I found in regards to not just the light rail throughout the Camp Washington community, but the entire proposed light rail system for Cincinnati reflects very closely to the Sacramento light rail system. They're comparable sized cities, and they also have very comparable overall plans and goals of what they're trying to accomplish. They're trying to accomplish an easier mode of transportation from the surrounding suburbs into the downtown heart of the city, which is what we're trying to do. And with our extension through the Camp Washington community and the transportation hub itself, this will help bring a lot of the available workforce into the Camp Washington community due to the large industrial nature of the community, and will also help for possible additional development that will bring people, not only the workforce into the area, but can also bring in people for leisure and for residential purposes. We worked fairly closely with the architect on our project, Kelly Ho, in regards to transit-oriented development. He taught us a lot about both new development and expanding existing development. This is why we have a possible future transit-oriented development area from all the way up at Sassafras Street down to Marshall Avenue. We believe that because this is closest to the Halpa Street intersections and the transportation hub itself, that this is probably where most development will spring up and or expand. And Sean will speak in regards to the house analysis.
We chose the open cut construction because, again, it's cheaper than tunneling, but there's also sort of lead-off potential from that. And that if we're doing an open cut construction along all of Quarry Avenue, the buried infrastructure is going to have to be realigned. And along with that, the Metropolitan Sewer District will sort of be forced to separate the stormwater and the sanitary sewers due to the consent decree. And there's also sort of the hope that, much like the Fort Washington Way project, there will be an additional bleed off. And I was even looking at hopefully separating all of Camp Washington, which would effectively eliminate about 6 CSOs that are in that area. Along with the local industry, there's the improved transportation in the area. And then I was also using the transportation hub as a beacon of green stormwater management in the area, and to showcase some of these techniques, such as, vegetative growth or rain barrel, and showing these off to the community and hopefully peeking their interest and saying, hey, rain barrel would look real nice on my building. And our planned ridership is also expected to meet the expectations of the community and the region.
The reason why we planned on such high ridership through this area is because the original proposed location of this entire route is along the east side of 75, which doesn't really help the Camp Washington community, nor does it really help the uptown community, because either direction, you either have to traverse I-75 or you have to go up a half mile of hills to get up to campus.
One was at Bobble Street, just hugging I-75 on the east side. The other one was at West McMillan on the east side of 75. Both of them hills are pretty steep, so I don't know if anyone wants to walk up them hills, and no one really wants to get off the light rail, get on another form of transportation. They just want to be at their destination, or be somewhere around their destination when they go off the light rail.
That's the biggest reason why we located the rail, why we did, was after speaking with Professor Russell. He basically, informed us that if it's not convenient, it's going to be. So that's why, but that's what our methodology was for locating where we did.